People who know me know I am the productivity queen and I absolutely thrive around structure and responsibility. Some of that comes down to knowing what energies there are in a given day to best base my routine around, and a lot of that, basically all of it, comes down to the system of understanding it through astrology. So if you're interested in planetary days, you know what they are, how to make the best use of them, what they can incorporate into your life, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you are always up to date with what the stars have in store for you. Hi, I'm Maren. I am a professional astrologer, current philosophy student, and witch proudly out of the broom closet. I combine traditional Hellenistic astrological techniques with modern psychological counseling dynamics in order to provide grounded spiritual guidance with my astrology. So getting started here, what are planetary days? Planetary days are a system in astrology wherein each day corresponds to a particular planet. Pretty straightforward. And most of it's pretty self-explanatory: sun day, moon day, etc. And this isn't arbitrary or pulled out of thin air. This is a system of correlation that developed separately in many distinct cultures without them communicating, because they were compiling information over time and seeing how certain energies really were full of wisdom that corresponded to certain times. Because with astrology, it's so much correlation and synchronicity and finding the times in which the structure of reality makes itself known. So this is not, pulled out of thin air, woo folklore. This is actually tried and true accumulation of millennia of knowledge in separate cultures that can be verified just by the fact that these cultures did not have overlap and yet came to these same conclusions. And each hour is also ruled by a planet. There's something called planetary hours, where the planetary day, the first hour, starts out with the hour of that planet. But that's a bit more, calculation specific, and I'm a pretty lazy, magician witch, to be honest. If you know me, I will pay for someone else to make the fucking talisman. I just know the election. I do more things in my mind, and that requires, looking things up. So, I don't really delve into planetary hours unless I'm literally needing it for magical purposes. But if you want to get even more specific with your timing, you can look into planetary hours. Basically, when we're aware of what each planet signifies and what day that planet is correlated with, we can have a better idea of what to do on a given day. And those of us who are already inclined to learn about productivity and kind of creatively or biohack our own energy, we already know that no day is the same as the one before, and especially for women, particularly, it's not necessarily like a 24-hour schedule, but rather each day is kind of specific, and so we can coordinate not just the same routine every day, but more so what days actually will be supported by particular routines. And I already ascribe, outside of planetary days, to something called mega batching, where I do a ton of one particular task in one day instead of dripping it throughout the week. So for example, I'll have one big filming day every week, or I'll have one big writing day each week, so that I can really hone in on that energy and make the best use of it. Now, there are tasks where I do need to split it up over a few days. So generally school essays. I'm finishing up my last semester of undergrad at New York University. I have to do a chunk every day. I can't whip out a 10-page essay in one day. Actually, I could, because I can write voraciously, but the most intelligent way to split up your energy along those lines is to let that incubate a bit, so I do split up tasks like that. But most of the time I am in a mode for any given day, whether that's editing videos or filming TikToks or writing my forecast for the next week. That's much more aligned, I've found, because the momentum for fueling a task can continue to increase instead of being broken up on every chunk of the day. And because I'm already very regimented and task-oriented, I'm a Virgo sun conjunct the North Node, I'm a Capricorn rising, we love to get shit done in this house. I call myself an assassin of the to-do list. I massacre every task. It's very important to me. So this already helps inform the way in which I go about that. So, if you want to know more about my routine in general, the way in which I have a super specific spiritual morning routine to like launch my alignment and my vibration for the day? Let me know in a comment down below, because I would love to actually get into that, as opposed to this being more day by day. That is like something that every single day I have the perfect morning routine, at least for myself, that I am obsessed with, that really sets me into launch mode and is not anything crazy. So let's get into each day here. Starting with Sunday, obviously that is the day of the sun, which lights up everything and is literally necessary to see, which is why the sun in general deals with creativity, it deals with expression, and Sunday therefore generally ends up being my content planning day. I usually end up sending out, or I always end up sending out, my newsletter, which is an astrology and magic newsletter for the week ahead. It's really interesting and really useful, so if you want to check that out, link is down below to get in on like learning about the cosmos and its energy for that given week. I always end up planning my content for Instagram for that week, and also some of my YouTube content if I have not already batched that for the month or like the next few months like I tend to do. It's me preparing to be seen, which is very, very solar, and even if I'm not filming that day, it's me putting myself out there, because sometimes I'm posting, sometimes I am, you know, editing photos and things like that. Anything having to do with fame or self-expression is really good for those Sundays, and it naturally to me feels like an uplifting, enjoyable day. I know growing up, Sunday was the most anxious day for me because it was the day before the school week, but for one, now that we're in this kind of weird limbo, like quasi social purgatory, you know, every day is not necessarily like the standard routine day. And also now that I am living as an adult and my college schedule is not so much like Monday, Tuesday, like it's not a normal elementary school type schedule, Sunday is no longer a day of anxiety for me, as is no day, because I manifest a purely harmonious life. But you know, it's a really joyful, uplifting day when you cut away the bullshit of the matrix. So lighthearted hobbies or interests are great on a Sunday. The sun illuminates and lights up things, so it's a good day to make something known, to launch something, all, you know, other astrological factors aside that could be signaling something else. And I tend to have really great empowered workouts on Sundays too. So then the next day we have is Monday, which is the day of the moon. And because the moon asks for nourishment, for self-care, for safety, Monday is often just intuitively my most restful day. Jokingly, I'm filming on a Monday, but generally speaking to a camera actually feels really energizing for me, like it comes really naturally to me, and the moon deals with the physical body, so like, look at me. Movement tends to be restorative for me on these days, so often it's like a slow yoga flow, and I'm still productive, but I'm particularly contemplative on Mondays. I find that I really love journaling, I really love flow state writing, and I answer a lot of emails on Mondays just naturally because I find that I'm a bit less abrasive. Not that I'm not a reactive or rude person, but sometimes, you know, I breathe, and the Leo stellium opposite Uranus can be kind of like to people. So Mondays, I find that the communication I do tends to naturally be a bit more, you know, meeting someone in a nicer way, I guess you could say. If you meal prep or you plan for the week, that would be a good day to do that on Mondays, because like even though I don't meal prep, I often plan the groceries that I need for the week so that I can have meal ideas laid out, and I find that happens, that coordinates really well with Mondays every week. And things regarding self-care, treating yourself, beauty in a way that is nourishing or like you need, that's a good time for that on a Monday. And because I was born on a Monday, you know, I love me a Monday, and I find I'm just really productive on Mondays because I prioritize the self-care that feeds into creative output. So then moving on to Tuesday, that is Mars Day. Obviously, that is then my favorite and my biggest recommended day for workouts. For if you're unlike me and not a reptilian and you can sweat, I recommend building up a sweat on a Tuesday. It never ever fails to be my most intense day. I may actually say that Tuesday tends to be my favorite day of the week because Mars is such a get shit done planet, and I prioritize my literal weightiest tasks, whether that is lifting heavier or that is knocking out an essay that I know it's like a 2-pager, like let me get this shit done, let me get my argument in, let me piss on another philosopher. No, kidding, I'm very charitable with my philosophical commentary. And Mars can sever, so if you're looking to break up with someone or like draw a boundary, Tuesday might be your day, because Mars as a knife can be either, you know, to kill someone or to cut away a tumor. Can be kind of the literal double-edged sword. So many puns in that. My Mercury ruled ass has outdone herself. Cleaning, organizing, getting rid of shit. This is a good Mars day. Tasks. I can't tell you how many times I have been like, damn, I have so much energy for whatever reason, and then I'm like, yeah, it's Tuesday, no wonder I just ran an extra mile, or I massacred my to-do list by 12 noon, because Mars energy is just dope for Earth sign productivity Nazis like me. Which then takes us into Wednesday. I have some energy to film today. We're loving this Monday with the moon in Cancer. You know, we're at home, just feeling all the vibes. Anyway, Wednesday, the day of Mercury. So Mercury associated with communication, intellect, logic. This often ends up being a total filming day for me. I also tend to do my schoolwork on Wednesdays, because for me, and basically for all of my life, schoolwork has been like 1% of my workload. So it's usually like an afternoon activity. You can kind of see it in my birth chart too. I have such a focus on creative output that schoolwork, I cater so well to the traditional school system, to where it's kind of like, unless it's a long-term thesis project where it takes creativity on my end, it's literally like a knockout in one day. I can do it for the week. Not that it's my best work, but it's generally a Mercury day afternoon thing while I'm filming videos and I'm doing schoolwork. And I also answer astrology questions every Wednesday, so on Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram and you would like to, you know, follow me, because I answer your questions every Wednesday and help, you know, clear some things up, answer what you're feeling. It's a super good day for me to do that on Wednesday, because often it's me teaching through answering questions. That's basically what all my astrology is teaching through answering questions and readings and whatnot. So Wednesday, back to the point, it's a great day for doing all things mercurial, writing, making sales calls, selling, marketing, organizing. Not in a way of Mars where it's like Marie Kondoing, but like filing away, things like that would be nice. Starting a routine habit can also be really great on a Wednesday, because you have the logical flexibility of Mercury to make you more agile in coordinating that with where you are already. So doing things that require wit are also really great. Like, I find myself filming YouTube videos really easily on Wednesdays, and even being around friends, it tends to go really well on Wednesdays, because Mercury is like neighbors, friends, comrades, that sort of thing. Busy days are usually good to cater for Wednesdays as well. So then Thursday is the day of Jupiter, the great gas giant, planet of expansion, abundance, blessings, growth, progress. Jupiter's significations of knowledge and teaching mean that I'm often teaching or planning my teaching related content on this day, even without trying. Like, I just find myself doing that. And if you're watching this, my enrollment for my Astrology Academy starting this month is closing up. So if you would like to get in on this 8-week course starting May 24th, sorry, shameless plug, perfect timing here, you can check out the link down below. Almost starting. I'm just opening up a few more spots, because much more people express interest than I had expected, and I'm ecstatic that so many people want to learn. So if you want to get in on this incredibly life-changing magical knowledge of the stars and have that really change the way you think about reality and learn the basics to end up reading a chart yourself by the end of this 8 weeks, link is down below. Okay, back to the planetary days and Jupiter. So right now, Thursday is actually the only day for me, as I'm filming this and the end of April, where I have online class all day for NYU. The other days, I either have like one class a day, or I have a class where I don't find it particularly rewarding to attend, so I don't hop on the Zoom. Plug. I'm not playing hooky. I'm making utility as being a student of the earth, picking what tasks have the most utility for me. So, you know, that still makes sense that I would be in class on Thursdays, literally class I can't fucking get out of, where the attendance is like, is your camera on? So once I do have free time, starting in like 3 weeks when my undergrad semester ends and I go through my virtual graduation, instead of Yankee Stadium, I have it in my East Village apartment. Funny side note, okay, I'm sorry, I'm going off on so many tangents in this video, but it was so funny because I'm graduating from my undergrad at NYU a year early. I'm doing this in 3 years, and my dad was like, I'm so excited for you to walk down Yankee Stadium a year early. This is so impressive. And the universe is kind of like, joke's on you for being productive. Had you been in your third and not final year, you would have gotten to graduate probably next year at Yankee Stadium, but since you're graduating this year, like, you get to wear your fucking cap and gown and you're on your couch without anyone by you, which is fine for me. I'm so flexible and I'm, you know, just riding the waves, but it's just funny the way the universe, you know, haha, Krishna, thank you for playing a little trick on me here, for being productive and ahead of schedule as usual before I go on to do my PhD. So once I do have free time, this will be more geared towards my astrology academy and like preparing the course material for the week, because even though I already have my curriculum, I'm going to be obviously fine-tuning it for where we are each week. So again, sign up down below if you're interested. It's a good day to go to your professors, like office hours if you are also a student, or to speak with people of authority if you need to. It's a good day to, once it's safe, travel. I mean, long distance travel is represented by Jupiter often, and that's intuitively well situated for starting on a Thursday, because that would naturally be like, okay, a weekend trip, I'm gonna leave Thursday. Like, that makes sense. So Thursdays, reading, studying, exploring, meditating, all great things. Now for Friday, the day of the beautiful Venus, representing harmony, pleasures, women, femininity, self-love, all the things. Whatever I'm doing on a Friday, I look cute as shit, which is convenient because Friday is almost always 100% filming day for me as well. And it's reserved for my TikTok mega batching day. I just find it, honestly, Monday, Wednesday, Friday are generally filming days for me, but like Friday tends to end up being a heavier filming day, because even though I'm like, oh, Monday's a total filming day, in between, when I have like downtime, when I'm eating or something, I'm like picking up tasks for the rest of the week. So Friday ends up being like, okay, I've done so fucking much, now I can let my creative juices flow. I also almost always am taking pictures for Instagram on Fridays, because I look cute and I mega batch my content as well for Instagram. It's a good day for enjoyable shit, being creative, having fun with friends in whatever way is safe for you when you're watching this video. I'm filming this during the middle of the apocalypse in New York for COVID-19, so that's why I'm saying, you know, nuances, because I don't want to influence anyone to be stupid. It's a good day for shopping or investing money. I say investing money because I see every exchange of money as an investment, and so like instead of spending it, like investing it in a purchase that is worthwhile. Spa day, self-care, for beauty or aesthetic reasons more so than the Monday of the moon, which is more for like nourishment or what you need. This is more what you want or what you find fun. And finally, Saturday, the day of Saturn, and Saturn is a serious one, you know, challenges, limits, boundaries, foundations. So Saturdays are almost always my getting ahead day. I batch all of my forecasts for the upcoming week, which I post on Instagram and Twitter every day, so if you're not following me on those, I give you astro updates every day. I plan my schedule for the next week. It's literally the week where I am laying down the foundations for the days to come, and I create game plans for any tasks that I'm mega batching. Like, I think that the normal person who probably is more free-flowing would be like nauseated by the amount that I prep. I mean, like, I have a spreadsheet for my TikToks, I have a spreadsheet for every single YouTube video, I have a spreadsheet for like my Instagram timing for the week based on the astrology. I mean, we work with the universal energies. Again, if you like want a video kind of like how I do what I do, I'm down to share it. I don't expect everyone to get the most out of it as much as I do, but you know, I will share the knowledge. The more you give, the more you get. So I'm aware that I'll learn even more about reality the more that I share. But yeah, the traditional idea of not working on Saturdays is even Saturnian, because it's like a boundary against working. But for me, I don't really have a concept of what I would do other than work, because my life is a lifelong, like, constant passion project of contributing creativity to what I've built. And so Saturday isn't a day off for me, because the word work, even though I use it, it really should be more of like me engaging with love on the project of my life that got really deep really fast, but you know, we're here for it. And it's a reflective day for what I did the past week, what I didn't get to, I'm catching up on, which is rare because I'm usually moving ahead so quickly. And it's planning for my structure for the upcoming week. A lot of like bullet journaling. As a child of Saturn, I'm a Capricorn rising, so my ascendant ruler is Saturn, and that's the archetype that I identify the most with, because our rising sign is generally the most personal archetypal point in our chart. They're often a monotonous day task for me, which I am okay with, because I find find monotony to be like the way that I unwind. That's so weird, but I have Saturn in the 5th as my like ascendant ruler, the 5th house of fun and creativity. I love video editing and just like the monotony, even though I need to hire that out. I'm going to need to hire and delegate that because that's not my state of genius, and I'm trying to fine tune that. So if you happen to be watching this and you're a video editor that has an interest in the spiritual community, just because that would help a lot if you like understand kind of what I'm speaking on, hit me up. I'm in the market to look for a video editor and overall help in the tech department to get that off my hands, because like I don't know, for all I know, Saturn could really open up for, Saturday could open up for another creative day for me if I had that time off my hands. So yeah, video editors, sending that into the universe. And for those of you also who are more advanced in astrology, planetary days can inform planetary remediation. So what I mean by that is that if in your natal chart you have a planet that is either deficient or overpowering, and you're trying to either boost the deficiency or wind down some of the overactivity, doing activities associated with harmonizing that energy on their specific planetary day can be really powerful. So like if you have a maltreated or bruised Saturn in your chart, you might give to the homeless on Saturday to boost up your Saturn energy. If you have an overpowering abrasive Mars, you might teach yoga to children in need on a Tuesday as a means of escaping some of that overpowering energy. Talismanic work of building, tributes to the planets is a really good day on their specific day. And overall knowledge of planets that are either more well placed or more hindered in your natal chart can give you insight into what days and times are optimal, or a time where you can remediate based on your natal chart. So this can be really deep, and like for me, I know that my moon is extremely well placed. It's just hilarious, like startlingly well placed in a chart where I have some pretty difficult aspects that I love as well. But my moon is being correlated with Monday. I think that synchronicity of Monday being a really great day for me just corresponds, because it's not the reason why Monday is great for me, it's the synchronicity of Monday, moon, As always, astrology is not affecting you, but it's reflecting you. So yeah, that's a little rambly, tangential, unwinding take on the planetary days. If you enjoyed this and you want to learn more astrology, check out my consultations down below. Check out the Astrology Academy. Check out, all the links to things. Otherwise, sending so much love. Make sure that you like, subscribe, do all the things, and I will see you in the next video.
But there is one thing you're all